Even the reload, I mean, you're next. And it turns it over and then just bap, bap.
Living after midnight, rocking to the dawn, loving till the morning, and I'm gone. And in today's video, ladies and gentlemen, do not go and harass the people that I will be ridiculing, because at the end of the day, folks, let's just take the piss out of them and let's just see what the nuclear fallout's going to be. What am I talking about? Who am I talking about? Back in January of this year, Gaming While Black, that GoFundMe documentary headlined by... Oh yeah, that bird, Rihanna MP. So forgettable, so... Yeah, let's not talk about it. Well, apparently, here's an update for you folks. They're getting ready to film very, very soon. However, if you're a person who's black and you have no credentials or qualifications whatsoever to become a game coder for a major studio like Rockstar or even Infinity Ward, I'll get into that one a little bit later on in this video, then your luck is in. But if you're white, if you're Asian, if you're Indian like me, then forget about it, bub. Go and join the unemployment line just down the road. And if you end up enjoying this video today, folks, make sure you give it a like, smash that subscribe button right in the guts, and I'll catch you catching me after these opening titles. Oh my god, this hasn't changed. 48 likes, 326 downvotes. It's just gonna get so much more worse. It's 1 minute and 44 seconds. Let's remind ourselves again, folks, how terrible, how racist, how egregious this trailer actually is. Because again, folks, there's no such thing as black people in video gaming, just like there aren't black people who work behind films or television or in magazines. Not just black-related magazines like Vibe, but other sorts of publications. But let's get on with this, folks. It's in 4K. Why would you waste 4K on this ridiculous documentary? More like a mockumentary at this stage. Let's go.
There's me in here somewhere. You want people to just recognize that this is important without the extra gasoline on the fire.
Because you're black?
I want to see more creators that look like me.
This guy is such a moron. This guy right here is a moron. Paris Lily, who's absolutely silly.
There's been a lot of examples of representation.
Yeah, this is the chick. This is this is Rihanna. Not that Rihanna, the successful singer from Barbados. No, this Rihanna is, well, maybe her sister that the real life Rihanna doesn't talk about. I can see now why.
Representation of black people in games that have rubbed me the wrong way.
Why have these iterations of black people rubbed you the wrong way, Miss Rihanna MP, who clearly should be on a diet or maybe going out there and finding an actual, oh, I don't know, a job perhaps? It's rubbed her the wrong way, folks. How dare there be no black people in video games? When I can point out several examples of black characters in video games, okay? You don't need to actually go and Google and type in black characters in video games. You've played video games where black characters have been in them, and for the most part, they've been absolutely hilarious. But this chick here, this big waffle, a hot chocolate waffle, we're going to call her, apparently it rubs her the wrong way, but yet she can't supply examples. Oh, how dare that? Oh my gosh, no, we can't do that, folks. You got Battlefield, Bad Company, black soldiers in them. A main sergeant in that game is badass.
Like that new guy coming in here now. I didn't choose him. Other than that, I ain't got nothing to say.
You had Locke in Halo 5, which was a terrible game, but Gears of War, you got the Coltrane, baby.
Your ass is gonna be quiet till your skink ass quit. Oh, mommy, you let the bad man hurt us. Fuck you. We gonna whoop your mama's ass. Whoa!
There we go. One muzzled queen. Not you, her. You were great. I loved your speech there, especially with the bitch-ass stuff. Very good. Very enlightening.
Oh my God, this woman is insane.
The moment I heard like, oh, we don't want to help you because we don't know that many.
Because,
black
let me
folks,"
guess,
I was like, "Okay, fine, I'll
because-
do it myself."
Because you're black.
You know what I find very funny about these mockumentaries, is black people who have to bring white representation into it to show they're not racist. I think that's so... Well, it's like that thing that I used to put up with at work, where you get white folks sitting in front of you, and they say, oh yeah, but you know, I've got a black friend here and I've got an Indian friend there, so I'm not racist. But then why are you bringing it up, love? No one's pointing the finger of racism at you. You're the one who's bringing it up. It's so stupid, right?
Just because like I happen to be black doesn't mean like get to show like black things, like like.
Hey, listen, bub. I'm Indian, and yet my YouTube banner will probably tell you, just maybe let you know, that I don't need black representation or any other kind forced on me. I like what I like. That's it. So why this guy sits here, comes up with a very disingenuous tale of, well, because I'm black. Well, hang on a second. How are black things associated with basketball and rap? Yeah, they might predominantly be occupied with black folks who are genuinely talented, but you do have white rappers like Eminem, right? How can you take one facet of entertainment and label it as black? I mean, you're actually defining things by genre. So rap music you will think is black, heavy metal music is predominantly white, but you don't walk into a record store and walk up to the clerk and go, which section is black and which is white, please? Even though, funny enough, if you do go into somewhere like HMV, you might still have labels like that. But it's so funny this guy's actually talking about, yeah, they forced these black things upon me like basketball and blah, blah, blah.
I love hockey. I'm Canadian.
Oh, he's Canadian.
Just
Well,
make the
so
person
sorry
great
about that.
Who just happens to be black.
Sometimes to write for black voices, you need a black voice behind it.
Because you're black.
You don't. You don't need to have a black person writing a black person. It does not work. Look at Ryan Coogler. He's producing Ironheart from Marvel. Nobody gives a shit about that character. The black female Iron Woman who thinks she's better than white billionaire Tony Stark Iron Man. That's not gonna happen, dude. That is such a fundamentally racist thing. Just bring a talented writer in who can write a character. Maybe the notion of what they are comes up much later on. Oh my goodness me. Such ignorance. All I'm going to say about Alyssa McCante is, has anybody got the holy water and a crucifix? No? No? Right, okay. This gentleman is Khalif Adams. I might actually give him a little bit of a pass here because he was nice to me on social media over Assassin's Creed Shadows, where I lambasted his reaction of it on his channel and he actually gave me a compliment. He didn't block me, didn't do anything. It's like I told him to work on his charisma because the guy lacks some, that's for sure. This guy right here is the biggest donator for the GoFundMe campaign. I'll show you that afterwards. It's still so funny. Gaming while black, y'all, because we're back in black.
Oh, that is tough. That is tough.
Because you're black.
Gaming while black, here's the update, folks. Directed by those two reprobates. It's a production coming soon. Feature-length documentary, which you've just seen a trailer for, of course, about creating space for black developers. You mean segregation? Creators and streamers within the video game industry. So Kai Cenat, isn't he the most prominent Twitch black streamer right now, but we don't highlight his color? He just happens to be the most popular streamer after XQC? Above all, the purpose of this film is to evoke racism, to elevate black voices that are already doing the work to create a more inclusive space within the community. Once again, segregation, folks. We're going back to Rosa Parks territory here. Also starting a new conversation around solutions that will help remove roadblocks, not roadblacks, for future black gamers and creators. While the working title of the documentary is GWB, or should it be GBH, because that'd be more fitting, I think. And by the way, if you actually go to X and you type in GWB, their brand doesn't even come up. So maybe somebody should work on the SEO perhaps? The sentiment behind that is meant to convey how being black or African American, aren't those the same things, by the way? Within an opposing community. Do you mean the whites? Oh no!
Hey, look at me! I'm white.
This doc will explore the relation of black gamers, developers, and streamers within the video game industry. So in other words, people like Kai Cenat will not bother talking to you. Allowing conversations to be had, as opposed to censoring them, and action to be taken in regards to creating space for more black creators in the industry, including developers of major studios to smaller streamers. This is such a tone-deaf statement. Please donate here. Above all, the purpose of this film is to elevate black voices. Didn't you just already say that in the opening part of this paragraph? You did. So why are you using that rhetoric again? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. We want to create more inclusive space within the community. Wait a minute. Has that already been... Yeah.
Officer Deja, Agent Vu. Haven't we met somewhere before?
This is such lazy writing. Donate here. No, I'd rather not actually. But here we are, folks. The story is, and it's still the working title of GWB, because they couldn't come up with something much more better, examining how it handles black, African and American voices. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to say that for last, my comments. Due to the bright pop culture, well, that's already racist. What are you implying there? That is inherent to video games, the visual elements may be fun and kinetic, allowing the viewer to have fun with the film while also digesting larger social issues and commentaries. I thought we're talking about getting black people into video gaming, guys. What is this going to be? A 4-hour-long bore fest about politics and being black and not being able to be a gamer or get into the gaming industry because you're black? What's going on here? I don't understand what I'm reading. This is like mind-blowingly bad. What's the purpose? Above all, the film is meant to elevate black voices. I think we're going around in a roadblock here, folks. I've seen this comment before. It's deja vu all over again. Look at this. I mean, Paris, I've got to say, Paris, I've got to say, mate, you might want to get a bigger jacket because, seriously, bro, buying a jacket that you used to wear when you were 10 pounds lighter isn't doing you any good now, is it? The vision of the documentary requires in-person interviews rather than video calls. I wonder why do you know why? Because they don't want you to leak the footage online so someone like me or anybody else reacts to it. I think that's what it is. That's so funny, actually. And there's going to be 3 to 4 people in the documentary. They will allow room for Jamal, who's about 400 pounds lighter than he ought to be, the host, 1 camera operator, 1 assistant director, 1 producer. The lasting impact of this documentary isn't intended to be accused, don't you mean accused, offend, or cause division between others. Oh, is that why I'm making this video? Oh, okay, I must have walked into the wrong saloon. The message of this film will amplify voices during the already needed work. It will inspire others to do the same. And it will highlight how doing so is beneficial for everyone, or in this case, no one. Now have a look at this. It all starts off with Alexander Dahramon, who donated $100. And then up it goes. Khalif Adams is the highest donator 4 months ago, $1,500. And nobody else could be bothered to even match or exceed that donation. Brittany Bumbacker, as I like to call her, she's a very annoying industry expert in video gaming, only gave $100. I'm still wondering what Alyssa Mercante has donated, because she was certainly a big mouthpiece in this video, wasn't she? So how come we don't know what her donation is? Or is she struggling to make ends meet? Who knows? It is absolutely hysterical. And by the way, you know, I always bring up this guy, but I've got to bring it up again. Mark Grigsby, the head honcho at Infinity Ward Games. I mean, we got to play his clip again, right? We love to play this from Game Informer. This guy is an absolute bro. He's an absolute Chad.
Back in the day, we used to have like really floaty and pretty animations. This project, we wanted it more visceral, realistic, constantly in your face, like I'm in the thick of things.
He actually has his own image in the video game as well, which is, well, why not? You made it a multi-million-dollar selling killing machine, so why not? I think that's absolutely fine. And look, last but not least, folks, yes, we do have people who have actually of color. Again, I don't know why we've got to bring up color when it comes to video gaming or entertainment, but we do for some bizarre reason. But you know, there's a documentary here called Black Game Developers Throughout History by a channel called whatever, and it seems to have been well received. And Mike Pondsmith, people forget about him, don't they? The man who created cyberpunk, the tabletop genre. He's written books, RPG books, right? And of course, he's married to a white chick, so he gets bonus points from me already. Honestly, when I saw this update today, I had to make a video because it's so funny. It's just fundamentally embarrassing. Who's going to step up to the front and sit down with these morons and be interviewed by them? First of all, they've got to interview themselves. Then they've got to put out a press notice about people that might come forward. They might have to use Alyssa Mercante and her lack of resources now just to pull on people like Jeff Grubb and talk about why the so-called gaming space is marginalized for people like, not like me because I'm not black, but for black folks, because they can't get into video gaming. As I said, folks, just watch any gaming documentary from the 2000s, even before that. I guarantee you will see black faces popping up in the interview, or in some cases with that road to E3 for the first Gears of War 1 video game back in 2006. There is a person of color in the boardroom, but again, why are we bringing in color? And oh, by the way, folks, one other thing I forgot to mention, this article right here, which I cannot actually highlight for you because it's been held back by a paywall from Bloomberg UK, but why the people of Call of Duty are hiring black folks to work for them. I mean, this is all DEI propaganda. Hopefully what the current American government out there are just outlawing, because you should be hiring people on merit, not on their complexion. But on that one, folks, if you end up enjoying this video today, I honestly did not expect to be doing that. And I've got 2 more after this, by the way. Make sure you leave a like below, smash that subscribe button, and I'll catch you catching me for the return of the next video.
I feel like once you've mocapped tier 1, like what are you still finessing here?
Well, we haven't mocapped. This is all hand-keyed animation. I did ask the animation team if they wanted to go that route, but a lot of them were very purist, like me, and didn't want to, you know, give their artistry away to mocap. So they said, you know, we're gonna hand animate this. So one of our animators did this one. This is probably one of my favorite guns in the game right now. It just gives me joy every time I'm playing with this gun. Just constantly.
Like and subscribe, or get your nuts Krogan crushed on Kung Fu Hot Dog.